to the channel. My name's Dino, this is my partner Adam, and our fur baby Twyla. We love travelling in our Ford Transit camper van, travelling in our Jimny and doing tent camping, and occasionally staying at an Airbnb. So if you like free camping, paid camping, camping tips and tricks, camp cooking ideas, and the good old country bakery, you've come to the right channel. So if you like what you see, press the subscribe button and come with us as we travel Australia one town at a time. Now let's get into this episode. Welcome to Kapunda. I hope that's how you say it, and I apologise already if I've said it wrong. But we've just arrived here. Adam knows nothing about this town. No. I barely know nothing about this town, but I'm about to enlighten him. All right, so the surprise is, this is the most haunted town in all of Australia. Okay. Anyway, they say it's most haunted. We'll find out probably more about it. There's links back to Mary McKillop again, similar to the last town we're in. So I'm looking forward to finding a bit more out about these. All right, so we've just arrived in town. Notice these. They're like little, I don't know, scarecrows. They're all around town. These are some of my favourite plants. Oh, and this, I've been wanting one of these for so long. But just transporting it back to Melbourne, it's going to be a bit of a prickle, isn't it? But I would really love one of those. And what?
Do you want to get one of those?
How would we get it home, but without getting pricked? Oh, you really like that pot. Adam likes a pot down there. But even these, look how nice these are. I definitely wouldn't transport one of these back because they would break. But if we were heading home right now, it'd be a different story. But, okay, we might get him, maybe. Because Adam likes this pot down here. Look at this. This is beautiful. The colours of our house. So maybe we'll get that and it can sit in there. So guys, plants, pot and more. That's their card there. If you're in town, definitely come here. We were going to get nothing because we thought we were going to transport it. But Adam fell in love with the pot. I love the pot as well. And then, of course, I already loved the plant. So we're getting it wrapped right now. And look, if you've got any issues with your plants, you can come in and they will help you work out what the problem is. Does it need more light? Does it need less water? So forth, so they can help you. If you want to contact them, that's them there. And I'm very excited. All that shopping has got us hungry, so we're going to head over to the bakery. Alright, so we went to the information office. There's a lot of things to do around here. I hope we can get it all done because we're only staying the one night. But I'll show you that as we go along. They have 2 exhibitions at the moment at the information centre, but we thought we'd come and eat lunch first. I've just got a jalapeno pie from the bakery. What did you get, Adam?
A vegetarian quiche.
A vegetarian quiche. Oh yeah, nice. So we'll see what these taste like. That pie was bloody delicious. It had just the right amount of jalapenos in it. Adam enjoyed his as well. So now I'm going to go check out at the information centre a few exhibitions they got on. And Twyla and Adam are going to hang in the van because obviously it's not dog friendly, being a council building. That's all right. But this is the real reason why we're here. We're meant to go to the information centre. Alright, so I'm back in the information office to come look at 2 different exhibitions. This one upstairs is on Sydney Kingdom, who was the cattle king. Here is a life-size cutout of him, and they've got his name down here. Now let me tell you a little bit about this legend. Born in Black Hill in South Australia in 1857, his dad died when he was only 6 months old, so he had to get through life himself. At age 13, he brought a horse and rode to New South Wales, and then he started working as a stockman. He worked at a few different places. One of the first businesses that he did was simply owning a butcher's where he sold meat, and then with that meat, he brought cattle. With that cattle, in the future, he brought things like sheep and land. And over time, he built up his wealth and ended up having the most land out of everyone in Australia. He definitely had an interesting life and earned his name, the Cattle King. If you want to find out more about him, definitely check out documentaries on YouTube. I did find a few, and they're great to watch and find out more. Now I've come downstairs of the library and information centre where they have the timeline of the town and tells you about the history of the town. So I'll just take you through. Again, come here, see it for yourself. Lots to read, lots to see. And they've even got buttons you can press that tell you a bit about the story as well. Just the years that different things happened. And then it goes on through to 1920. It's pretty fantastic, this setup they've got down here, including videos you can watch. You can have a seat on cowhide, and then around here you have all different boards explaining different things. Stuff on there, mining, stuff about the bridges, because there's some really beautiful bridges. Hopefully we'll get to see some. So it just gives you a basis of the history of the town before you go learning more about it. Definitely a great place to start your exploring around town. Now, as you walk out the information office, you'll find the pub. Now, it literally just closed yesterday. They're looking for someone to come along and buy it. Please, someone come get it if you've got a spare $1 million. This is one of the 10 most haunted pubs. I don't know if that's in the world or in Australia, but they used to do ghost tours at night here and used to be able to stay in, obviously drink and eat here because it was a working pub until yesterday. So yeah, I won't be able to go in there, but we'll definitely cross the road. I think there might be a history board over there, so we'll have a look at that. But yeah, it's just interesting. I really wanted to go inside and have a look. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen, but at least you know it's here. So I've come to the back of the pub. I've walked all the way around. I couldn't see in any of the windows. They're all covered up, but hopefully it's open when you do come visit. Maybe someone's brought it in time and they'll reopen it. Also, they have paintings on the side of the hotel, so I'll film that and show you. There is one of the ghosts, and there is one of Sir Kidman, and a few other paintings that I don't know what they're of, but they're just ones of a cat. So anyway, I'll show you that now, and then we'll keep going with our little tour. It's one of the music festivals they have around here. And they're also known for their Australia's longest running Celtic festival. How's that? All right, so I'm heading over to the museum, which I'll show you that in a second. But then next to that, you've got this building that was built in 1929. It's now a craft, I think like a craft shop, I think. I might pop in there and see what's actually in there. And then you got this building built in 1866. So there's a few old buildings on this street. Come across to here, and I've just read this. Let me zoom into it. And it's just saying about this bride who put a dress on, and she was waiting for Billy. He never came home. One of the locals walked out of the building and told me that this is Billy. He went off to war. She told him not to be a hero. He was a hero, and basically he was a hero, but he never came home. So that's why she's now a skeleton still waiting for a Billy to come home. There is a button here to press, and it tells you a story. They raised money to build Billy, and he supposedly got a very cute young face because he was only young when he passed. And also he's even got the actual Anzac badge on his hat. This is Billy. Let's have a look at his face. He does have a young face. Look at that. Poor Billy, never came home. Here's his badge there on his hat. And he's writing his letter, I think, to his wife. And yep, darling. And let's press. So you got this there, and then here's the button.
I'm at Tobruk in the middle of no man's land. I'm writing a letter to my darling in Kapunda, South Australia.
There you go. That is why Billy is here. Okay, I've come inside to the country. I'm going to show you this on a little bag because I'm going to say it wrong. Country Chick craft shop. And this is basically a collection of locals that make things, and I hope I'm saying this right, and they sell them here, and volunteers work here, and they raise money for the town, which is an awesome cause. I've actually picked up for myself some jam. I'm going to buy some strawberry jam and some honey, because you can't go wrong with honey. But they have cakes, they have embroidery things, they have what else? Soaps, toys, clothing, you name it, they've got it. Jewelry. So there's a whole heap in here. So if you come in and you'll be supporting the locals and you'll be buying something good. Right, I've got my bag that I've got my honey and jam in, and there's a name there just in case I did pronounce it wrong. But you can come along and see these guys. That was fantastic. And here I'm thinking, it's just a craft shop. No, go in there and check it out. It's bloody awesome. Anyway, I'm going to go next door now. I'm heading to the museum. Okay, we're just out the front of the museum, and they've actually got a few pieces of farming equipment and things out here also. And let me just zoom up to show you the whole front of the building. So this is a building here. I'm guessing it was a church, but I'll find out once I go in. Here's another one of those scarecrows. I forget if I told you already. So the town's got a scarecrow, kind of like a festival thing happening, and they're all making scarecrows and putting them out on display. Now you do pay a small fee to come into the museum. I won't say how much, it's not much at all, but just in case they do change their prices over time. They have a collection of things from around the town and the surrounds of history, things that people have donated from the local community. When I walked in to pay my fee, the gentleman at the desk told me that I was entering on the male side. Well, he thought it was the male side, and I said, what do you mean by that? And he said, when the church was running back in the day, the women would enter on one side of the church and the men would enter on the other side of the church. So I thought that was really interesting. You can go down underneath the church, which is the part that I was most excited about. I thought maybe there could be something spooky down there to check out. There was old fridges and lots of old hospital equipment. Hospitals must have donated lights and theatre lights, I should say. There was also things like dental chairs, and they even had a shop set up like it was set up back up in the day. I didn't see anything spooky down there, so I'm highly on edge with knowing that this is meant to be the spooky town. But no, nothing down there, just a really interesting history to check out. There is a lot to take in here, so make sure you got plenty of time when you come here. I would have loved to have spent more time there reading more about the history and what I was actually looking at. But definitely worth taking a look at if you're in town. One last thing that I thought was quite funny, out the back, there is an old drop toilet they've got there. It's a double drop toilet. Yes, you can go to the toilet with a friend. Check this out. I'll take her in and show you what it was like. Here it is. Let's go in. And oops, sorry, it's already been used. Definitely very interesting. And I tell you, if you can't find something there from your childhood, yeah, you must be pretty young. Okay, now I'm heading to the bookshop before I go pick up the plant to take it back to the van where Adam and Twyla are at the moment. Now, the bookshop I hear by one of the locals is amazing. It's secondhand books and they are dirt cheap. It's ridiculous, they reckon. She reckons there's nothing over $5 pretty much, and people come from miles around to come to this bookshop. So they reckon they got books on everything. So let's go in and take a look. If you want to know where the bookshop is, just look for this guy. He's out the front and you'll be able to see, go in and have a look at all the books they've got here. There is so many books in here, but there is something I am looking for. Now this is the reason why I'm here, to check out all the cookbooks. I mean, where else could you come to get a book like this? The Australian Lucky Country Cookbook. Now come on. So I'm back in the van and these are the books I ended up getting. They all cost me $11 for the whole lot. Can you believe that? So I've got a few cookbooks, barbecue books, slow cooking books, and for Adam, I got him this. So he's like, when am I going to have time to do that? But I reckon he will one day. So we're out at the mine and this is the map of it there. And it just tells you where you are. There's a little QR code as well. And then over here, this is interesting actually. One of the things they got on this board is that pasties, they used to eat pasties on their lunch break, but they would never eat the crust, just in case they got copper entering their bodies. So they'll throw that out because it'd be copper on the crust. They'll throw that out, and yeah, they say that if you do touch any of the rocks and stuff around here, to make sure that you do wash your hands. So there you go, to stop you getting copper. But if you want to have a read of any of this, I'll just go in there, have a read of that, and then down there, that's that story there. All right, well, let's head in and check this place out. In good news, something Twyla can join us on, as long as you pick up the poop. They've got poop bags here, and they've even got a rubbish bin. Wow, this is amazing. And they do have a story about this horse here, and the guy that built it, or made it, I should say. And I'll just fly over that, so if you want to pause and read as usual. And oh look, Adam and Twyla. Go on, Adam, keep going. I want to see you push it around. That's it. What about Twyla? Let's tie Twyla to it and see if she can pull it around.
She can earn her treats.
Yeah. So it's just showing the what the horses used to be tied to as they walked around, and then yeah, they'd be connected to it, Adam. Oh, here he goes. Oh yeah, so it's showing the ropes are moving up here, and then that is over here. Look down there. Is there anything down there? No. Oh, so it's showing that's how they lifted the rocks up to the surface. There you go. I'll show you both sides of the horse. Look at all the work that's gone into this. This looks amazing. And then you've got the chimney stack in the background. And we saw them at the last time we're in as well. But definitely got to get a photo with the horse. That is incredible, the amount of work on this. It reminds me of when I was in Mexico City and they had big wings made up, and it was made up of all these guns. It was crazy, and it looked insane. It reminds me of that. It's a walking track that will take you right around, and this is probably the highest point, so you can actually see right over the mine from here. And along the way, it's got shows you like different buildings that we used to be here. You've actually got a skate park and toilets down there. They have installed these, so if you bring your pooch, they can have some water. Plus also be mindful, wash your hands if you do touch any of the stone work. And Adam's just up at the chimney stack, I'll call it. Head over there and see if there's anything on it. Right, so there is a plaque here, 1850. There we go. Okay, I lied to you before. This is actually the highest point. This is the actual lookout. So you can actually see right over there. And the good thing about this is they do have the map here that you can look at what things are as you're looking around. So that's there if you want to pause and have a read. And then they've got a photo from back in the day of how it would have looked when it was all operating. Alright, so this is where the engine house was, where Adam is, and they do have warning signs here just saying be careful because it is still a shaft by the looks of it. Yeah, and you probably have to watch out for snakes too because it's pretty hot. But yes, so down there, oh yeah, there is a bit of a drop. So you wouldn't want to go in there, and the same as over there, I think. Danger. We've got the boiler house from 1862, and you can see the big boilers here, which would have sat, I'm assuming, yeah, no, that's where they would go, right there. And then you got the building, which is, they're framed out to show you how it would have looked and the size of it. And you can see the ruins underneath it. This one's interesting. So this one shows an overview picture of it, and it does have the numbers. So then you can go down here and see what each part was back in the day. And there you go. They really have made it look like how the building was. So down this end, they've actually installed a new car park. The town's put a skate park in here, or a bike track, and some tables. They've got the same information that's up the other end. And also they have the doggy water bins and a spot where you can get your bike fixed with all the tools, just in case you get a puncture. All right, we're gonna head down here, and just gotta be careful of the rocks because it can be very slippery. All right, so we're down here. We can see that's one of them there. That's a tunnel to go in. But obviously we can't go in there. You just got to be careful of falling rocks. You can see, look at the green in the rock. And there you go. So we're right in the middle of it. Right, it's time to go back up and back onto the track. This is probably one of the reasons why you don't jump the fence. You wouldn't want to fall down somewhere like that. Constant reminder to say that those holes are there. So that's where we just came down, and we couldn't see around this corner, but there's another opening there. And then it looks like there's a few shafts here. So this is number 4. Okay, looks like it's a bit filled in these days. And then number 5. We'll go have a look, see if this one goes deeper. Oh wow, this looks pretty insane. Look at this. I don't know if the camera will pick it up really well because of just the way the light is, but you can see all the different colours as through going through the layers. Looks pretty incredible. All the way around you'll find boards you can read, and pretty much it's this one big loop that wraps back around, and you can see our van just up there. So we're just heading back to the van now. We just arrived to Kapunda Tourist Park, and we literally just booked in. Thank God they had a site for us, because honestly I thought we were going to be camping out on the street, but then again we hadn't looked at wiki camps yet, but because it's been a really hot day we definitely want to get a powered site, and they had one for us, thank God. I'll take you around the park in the morning. It's very busy tonight, so there's people sitting out and drinking and having chats, and there's people in the camp kitchen, so I don't want to go there and interrupt them. So in the morning hopefully I get time to run around and show you the park. We're set up at our site, and I'm just taking Twyla for a walk, and at the back of the park they've got this here which says you can't drink it, you can't swim in it. I don't know what it is. There's no sign saying actually what it is, but it's very green. So anyway, the ducks are liking it. We're just walking into town for tea, and I thought it might be worth mentioning there is a Lions Park not far from where we're staying at the caravan park. It has got toilets. It's got an amazing large playground for the kids. It's not dog friendly, which is a shame. Adam's just used the bathroom, but Twyla can't go in. They do have a bit of a barbecue area and undercover area and a lot of green grass. So anyway, that's there if you've got kids and you want to stop and have a picnic, not far from the caravan park. This is pretty awesome. This is right in the middle of town pretty much. And you've got where we were today. And it basically here it's got the whole history and tells you what each part means. Yeah, so you can see that's what we saw today. And then down here, this is a house that you can go visit, but you got to ring to make an appointment to go out there if you do go. I don't know the name of it, but I did get a flyer on it. And then they got buildings from the town, people from the town. I think that's meant to be Mary McKillop because she's tied up in the stories here. And then, yeah, just the town back in the day. Okay, so we've been lucky enough to find a pub that's open. I could not find this pub, and then we walked past and we're like, is that open? And we asked, and they said, yeah, they're doing meals. They've got a pizza night, plus they're doing other stuff, normal pub meals. So this is called the Sir John Franklin. I'll show you the menu, and it does have a massive, you can see through the blinds here, massive outdoor area. There's just a really big dog out there. So we've come up onto this part where we'll have dinner. And yeah, because otherwise Twyla's going to annoy this dog, so we'll stay here. All right, so this is the menu. They're the pizzas. These are the main. And then we've got down here kids and desserts. So I'll just stop that for a second just in case you want to stop and read it. Just went inside to order. You can eat inside, obviously, and they've got a big area. They've got a TV there, so the kids can sit in front of it watching TV while you eat dinner. So you've got pretty much all bases covered. There are pokies here as well. All right, so I went the porterhouse medium rare. Look how good this looks, and I changed it up. I got veggies with it rather than the chips. And what was the chips and salad? So I got the veggies instead. Got a pepper sauce. And what do you get, Adam?
Mongolian vegetable stir fry. Oh, with chicken.
Yeah. And it comes with some rice as well. But that all looks really good. And of course, we brought the shortway. So, you know, on the different nights have different things. So obviously this could change over time, but just so you know. All right, so we just finished eating and the meals were absolutely delicious. So yeah, definitely if you're looking for someone to eat, pop in to see them. We're both full. Oh, we're getting a little bit of a show on the way home also. We've got the sunset going down. How beautiful is it? I feel like we're the only ones here besides that car coming. I've woken up to a very fresh morning and I was just walking into town to go get a coffee and start my walk. And look what I ran into. Some massive geese. I'm just eating on a lawn. I found this park. It's absolutely beautiful. I just don't know what it's called. So if I find out, I'll let you know. Hey guys, just having a morning breakfast. Here you go. So this park is all about the ducks by the looks of it. And it actually even tells you what not to feed them and what to feed them. I didn't even realise that these don't feed us bread. They must be good for them. And there's all the ducks there. They're not making all that hideous noise. That's the birds up in the trees. So at the information office yesterday, I picked up 2 information forms. One about the buildings in town, all around town, and it has like a walking map. We did part of it yesterday by walking out to the mine. And then there's another one that does all the art in town. So I'm going to kind of combine them together now and do a few of the different spots just to show you. But when you come down, definitely ask for those. One has more information about the buildings. So I've done a little bit of research and I know a few little bits and pieces about some of the buildings. So I'll enlighten you as we go along. So in the middle of town, they have this painting here. It's part of the walking tour as well. And it's of Mary MacKillop. There's a little bit of a story up here about what she did in the area. But this is what I wanted to show you because this is what I'm going to go out to today. And this is where they had the haunted cemetery, and that whole area is pretty much meant to be haunted. So we'll go see that today. All right, but before I do anything and get serious, I really need a coffee. This is a coffee shop that all the locals rave about. They reckon they've got great food and coffee. So we'll go in and grab one and see what it's like. Just doing a walk. Yeah. All right, I've got my coffee, and it tastes fine, and I got myself a little treat. But I was just here looking at this painting, and then I realised it was a fireman with his horse, because I'm actually at the fire station. Check this old fire station out, and it looks like it's still actually working. Now I've come across the Remembrance Shrine, and then they've got this to honour them all. Beautiful painting. Here's one of those scarecrows that's entered the competition. This one's got a dog in it, so I definitely like this one. This town is definitely not short of churches. There is a lot of churches, and I love the bell on top of this one. Here's just one of the many beautiful homes in the town. Absolutely stunning. I have to show you this one. This is just as beautiful. Look at this place. So this is a primary school, and it still is a primary school. Now here is a great idea. Check this out. The bottle shop converts in the morning to a drive-through coffee shop. How innovative is that? up where all the churches are, I've come across this about our very first Australian saint, Mary MacKillop. This is what we're going to go out and see today. And I want to show you this picture because this is a palm tree. And I think that's the only thing that exists out there now. This has all been knocked down ever since they did a documentary on it being haunted. A lot of people went up there doing silly things, the local told me, and so it's all been knocked down, and that palm tree is pretty much the only thing up there, and the cemetery. So just remember that palm tree today, because we're going to go here, but there is nothing there now. If that makes sense. So anyway, that is just an information board on Mary MacKillop. Right, this is the building I've been looking for. This is the old courthouse, built in 1866, and this one is meant to be haunted. There is people now living in it, but the person that had it not long ago in the documentary said it was very, very haunted, and he would not be in there for one night. He never slept in there. For the documentary, he went in with a camera one night and he lasted not long at all, and he ran out. Did not like it. So yeah, it's meant to be haunted, and supposedly there's meant to be a jailhouse somewhere around here. So I'm just going to have a look on the map and see if I can find it. I think it's meant to be here. But anyway, this is a courthouse. Beautiful building. Now let me show you the courthouse up close, because it is such a beautiful, stunning building. Like I've done in a few of these towns that we've visited lately with these beautiful old buildings, is even without a map, just get up in the morning, go for a walk down every single street you can, because you're going to find beauties like this. The buildings are just amazing, and you might not know what year they were built or know much information about them, but at the same time, just looking at them, they're gorgeous, and it tells you what year they were built and things like that. But anyway, I just enjoy walking around, discovering beautiful old buildings. Right, we're down the other end of town now, and we've got very large painting here with all the history, the back history, and even has like the actual, tells you who the person is. So you can learn all about the history. That was what Adam was pushing around, remember? He was pushing that around yesterday. That's what the horse would have done. That's where we were also yesterday. We've got the town and one of the hotels. Okay, so Adam and I love looking at community galleries. There is a gallery here. I'll cross the road and show you some of it. It's not open yet, but I can show you in the windows. And it looks like they got their entry into the scarecrow competition. This is theirs. And they've got another one in here. It looks pretty nice and bright. But there's some really talented artists in this town. Some beautiful paintings. We've got paintings, more paintings in here. And then we've got some really nice country sceneries out in the bush. Probably some of the local areas. And then just like the one I showed you the other day, but this one is a miner and he's got his dog with him, his companion. Come across some more of the art and check out all these scarecrows. It's got a whole family here. And then they got this one here that has all the different churches in town that we've just seen. Okay, besides another beautiful building, next to this we've got some more paintings on the post office. So I'll go over there and have a look. All right, so this one's bordered with mosaics, which is pretty cool. And this is something I'm still looking for. This is a large miner you could go check out. And I haven't found him yet, so I'm looking for him. He's in the town somewhere, I think. All right, then next to the post office also, they have a monument here for Sir Sidney Kidnam. And then behind it is a whole piece of artwork that is all about him and his story. Just finished my walk and I thought now that I'm back at the caravan park, I'll take you on a quick tour. Now, next to the caravan park, as you go through the gates, got the caravan park to the right, and on the left is actually a reserve where you can see the locals playing football, or when they're not, you can go for a run around the oval. Also, you've got the remembrance area, which I'll take you through that as well and show you. Welcome to Kapunda Tourist Park. All right, so we're in the middle of the park now, and you've got a few different cabins along here. There's a few different size cabins you can get. And here you got your camp kitchen, which has a barbecue, fridge, microwave, TV, heaps of seating, undercover, and another barbecue out here. And then through here, you've got your toilets, men's, ladies, and your laundry in the middle. With everything you expect to see in a laundry. Got a few of the native birds just having a munch on some crackers. And these are some of the powered sites. These are some more of the cabins you can hire. Where Adam and I are in the caravan park, it's just gravel, but there are some greener areas. So if you want one of them, make sure you book in early and you ask them for the grassed areas. And here are some of those grassed areas here. Right down the back, there is these cabins here, which are quite cute. There are a few cabins in a row, and they've all got their own private balcony. And you've got a cluster, it's like a little court of a whole heap of cabins that are kind of almost look themed because they look like the houses with their details on them from around the area. And this is where Adam and I stayed last night, and you can see it's all gravelled. And this is one of those ones where you can pull straight in and park. This is where you can walk through to the oval. So they were out here playing football last night. I think it was more of a training session. And then this is next to the park also, their little remembrance park. And then in the middle, they do have a fountain, which is absolutely filled with ducks at the moment. I think I've scared most of them off. There's some still walking around. And now they're gone over to the beautiful grass. Twyla loves this grass. Right, so we're back in town with Adam and Twyla. We're going to have some brekkie, but we're going to have it takeaway. So we've got the menu here. So I don't know if it's probably hard to read this because it's laminated, but this is their all-day menu. So there's a fair bit on there. And then on the other side, they've got a few other bits and pieces. We're thinking maybe of a focaccia, because they looked really good. And it's back with the goods. So here you've got getting me the
Mediterranean focaccia.
Mediterranean. Oh my God.
Have an olive.
Have they warmed it up? Because it smells beautiful. Yeah. And then what did you get? You went a bit small. What's going on here? We're on diet.
Well, no, I got a I haven't seen this before, like this at least.
Yeah. Let's see what Adam's got.
A caramel slice. So it's pretty.
Oh, caramel slice.
Pretty bad with breakfast. It's a little block.
Oh, it's what they've made it in. They've made it in like a container or something.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have that.
That's kind of cute. All right, let's
A bite of yours.
And a bite of mine. Okay. All right, we've just come to a park, which is at the start of the town. So as you drive into town, this is where you want to pull over, depending on which direction you're in. We're here just to eat breakfast. And Twyla really wants some. No, you can't. This is where Matt the miner is. He is huge, and he's just, think you can see his head there. We're going to go check him out in a minute. And it's a great spot just to stop and get an idea of what's in town, even though I've just shown you most of it. But yeah, it just shows you all the different points you can visit, things to do on here. And there is some tables like so that you can come here and, you know, just stop and have a bit of a break. Plenty of car parks there and in front as well, in front of Matt the miner. Yeah, so anyway, we'll eat this and then we'll go walk around and show you him. All right, so this is the information board that you can see here. And down here, it just tells you about, this is one of Australia's big things. He's 7 meters tall. It just tells you why he's been erected. Also has a fantastic map of the town. This is where we are right now. That's who we're about to see. And this is the one that you can pick up at the information off first, that if you follow the track around, this is a lot of what I did this morning. You can see all of the old buildings, churches, and that's where we went out yesterday, saw the mine. So the statue's been located here in monument to the Cornish miners that
migrated to Australia when the copper fields were opened.
Oh, yeah. And there's more information here if you want to stop, pause, and read. And here is the great man himself, Mr. Matt. So this is his side profile. You see he's got his mining tools, and then he's got like a hammer, I suppose, to help his chisel on the other side. It's pretty impressive. Very impressive. Also, we've just seen this poster, which it looks like they're in discussions of what is going to go on their silo. And there's a few different ideas. So comment down below and tell me what you think should go on there. So we've just driven down to the other end of town. So if you're coming from Clare Valley, you'd be coming in this way, and you can actually stop here on the way in beforehand. Now, dogs can be here, they're just going to be on lead, and this is called the Pines. And in this area is where they had a plantation. They haven't got heaps of the trees now, but they used to, I think the story goes, they used to basically test trees, like plant trees, to see how they would go in the area. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, there's a few old homes here, I think. So anyway, I'll turn around, I'll show you the map that we're going to do, and it's a bit of a loop trail. All right, so this is it here. Yeah, this is pretty much the walk we're going to be doing today around this lake, I'll call it. And it's even got a bird hidey spot, so there must be birds around here. And we might even see it in the kinder. Right, so we've got a pipe hanging here, and there's a bit of a story to go with it. What is that story, Adam?
I carried the water from the water tower to the turnock house to the town.
Oh, okay, so that's what's here. So I thought it was an old ruins of a house, but no. Well, it is a house, but a different kind of house. Yeah, so that is all here. You can see that on this walk. And that's the town. All right, we've made it to our first part, and there is some information on the walls inside, so we'll go inside and have a look. So this is where the water went through.
So the water will just go from the dam or the reservoir and just straight through to the town.
You can actually go down here. Okay, that doesn't go anywhere, but this does. Look at that. I wonder how far it goes. Creepy. And I might walk in and just see if they've actually shut it off or if it does go a little bit down. Well, let's go in. All right, I've got my torch on. All right, here we go. Let's see. Oh, God. I don't want to, Wow, it really does go. I wonder if you'll ladder down. Well, I'm down here now. Oh, let's hope there's no spiders. Or ghosts. Oh, God, something just touched me. Oh, I'm getting out of here. Something's just touched me, and I don't think it's anything nice. Now I'm going to follow this, where the town's water would go. And if you come through here, you can actually see where all that water would go. So now we're going up to where supposedly the water is. That's where the water would normally be, but it looks like there is no water. You can keep walking along this track for a bigger walk. We're just doing the smaller walk today. That there is what we saw in the picture. And here is an actual information board. If you want to stop and have a read, since I'm so uneducated in this stuff. This is back when it was full. And that was December floods 2010. Now I've got to catch up with Adam and Twyla, who are halfway down the dam wall. Just cross over the dam, and now we can see just on top of the hill just there is a house. It used to be the water manager's house, and now it's privately owned. And then along here you'll find the spillway, so when it overflowed, that's where the water would go. Adam's got his swishing stick. Look at him go. Twyla needs hers. Oh, she's got a swishing tail. There it is. And here is what is left of the plantation. A row of pine trees. And then it goes around here.
Does it?
So you can walk through. Oh no, that just kind of ends about there. So that's all that's left. Oh, there we go. And it's got the pine tree grove. There we go. Also, if you are a bird watcher, these are all the birds that are in the area you can look out for. And they do, like I said before, have a observation kind of area where you can go into to hide from the birds as you look out of them and try to spot them. All right, our very last stop is the St. John's Cemetery. I know this is kind of morbid, but this is meant to be the most haunted cemetery. I don't know if it's in Australia, and there is a lot of stories to go with this cemetery and the building, which was run at one stage, well, partly run by Mary McKillop, up the back of the property, which is no longer there. So in the documentary I've been talking about during this, they used to be there, but with everyone who after the documentary would go there and do silly things, they knocked it down. But what is there is a palm tree that was always been there. So in the documentary you'll see a palm tree, and that's basically where the building was located. Alright, I've just headed back to the back of the park where they have this. So the St. John's historic site has about the church and shows the location of the church. And then also of the reformatory, which is what Mary McKillop was a part of. And the first stone of this church was laid in 1850 by Bishop Francis. And there's a lot of information on here, so you can stop and have a read. I'm getting attacked by flies. But this is a palm tree that I'm talking about. And then if you look up here, you can see the palm tree there. It just gives you an idea of where it was located, and you can see all the ruins kind of just scattered down the bottom there where they've knocked all the buildings over. I'm just going to head down to the back of the cemetery because that's where Adam is with Twyla. And normally Twyla, if there's something, anything kind of vibes or anything, she normally senses them. And one thing I'm sensing is a lot of flies. There's a lot of flies around here. When it comes to all the spooky stuff in this town and the things that go bump in the night, not that we've witnessed any of these things, besides the pub doing the ghost tours before it closed down, they don't overly promote any of this spookiness in the town. I think it's just because a lot of the stories, which you can, like I said, go on YouTube and check out, are a bit triggering. If you do want to find out about all that stuff, go on to YouTube, you'll find the video. It comes up straight away when you put the name of the town in. It's interesting coming out and seeing all the old tombstones and reading the years that people passed. So many young people, which is devastating. And I tell you, if the spirits don't get you out here, the flies and the bull ants definitely will. And I think it is time to go, so on to another adventure. Well guys, we hope you've enjoyed Kapunda, and it's been, well, has it been spooky, Adam? No, it's been good. Nah, it's been great. Look, I think if you came out at night, you'd be very scared. But we've really enjoyed ourselves. We have a great time in this town. If you want to spook yourself out, you can, but otherwise there's plenty here to enjoy, and we've really enjoyed our very short time here. If you're lucky enough to stay here more than one night, you might get to see a bit more than what we did. All right, guys. Well, hope to see you next Sunday at 5 p.m. for our episode. If you're new to the channel, you just found us, go down the bottom, like and subscribe, tell your friends about us. And until Sunday next week, we'll see you then. See you then. See you guys.